All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and get started working on this car. This is that 83 JDM Z31 Turbo, has the VG30 ET. And today we're gonna go ahead and accomplish dropping the transmission and dropping the subframe in prep for the S13 subframe swap with the 370Z VLSD and the Tremec Magnum 6-speed with the double overdrive. So what I've already got done so far is we got the the car obviously on the lift here, no big deal. But I had to remove the rear subframe mount brackets because I had to position the rear lift arms differently than I normally would. Normally I place the lift arms on top of these brackets down there at the bottom. It's a good mounting spot for the lift, but I have to push it on or mount it on the pinch weld carefully so that I can drop the subframe, right? Kind of makes sense. So I already got that done because it was kind of a pain in the butt to get it lined up perfectly. But we're going to get this car up in the air. We'll go ahead and get the tires off first, just in the rear. I'll do the fronts later. You know what? No, I'm going to get all the tires off. That way I don't accidentally hit my head while walking under there. So let's get this up a little bit. Actually, you know, before we start working, let's do an undercarriage inspection of the car. Because I haven't looked under it yet. Let's see what's going on. Almost there. Okay, lock it down. All right, so let's take a look here and see what we got going on. All right, well, first things first, just right away, we got an oil leak somewhere. Appears probably rear main or the drain plug itself. That's interesting. So the transmission I've already identified as a 71 Bravo, 71B, not the 71C. So it's probably an early iteration of the 71C. Yep, everything pretty normal as far as what I am looking at. Downpipe, cat, fun stuff. And one-piece drive shaft expected. All right, differential looks normal, R200, not CLSD, unfortunately. These early ones were open. Oh my goodness, look at this. I am moving the wheel and the other axle is not even spinning. It's supposed to spin opposite direction. That diff, holy smokes, is probably toast. That is crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. That's definitely a bad diff. Okay, well, no big deal. We're gonna replace it with the VLSD anyways. Has some sort of aftermarket exhaust on there. Let's see. Oh, I think that says, no, something in Japanese. I thought it said HKS. I think that's the brand right there. That's kind of cool. I thought it was HKS though. It doesn't matter though, it's still pretty cool. But yeah, let's go ahead and, so the plan of attack here is drop the exhaust, you know, get the drive shaft pulled out, get the sway bar pulled down, because you have to do that to get the drive shaft out. So pull the drive shaft out, lower the tail shaft of the Z, or the transmission of the Z, you know, unhook the speedometer cable, all the electrical, and then go ahead and drop the transmission as it is. And then from there, there's 4 mounting points at the subframe. And it looks like I have to adjust this. That kind of sucks. You can see that I was aiming to have this clear the subframe mount, but I kind of messed that up, it looks like. Same on that side. So we'll have to reposition that. And then, you know, drop the subframe by those 2 front bolts being cleared out. And then up here is the diff mount. So once you get that cleared out, essentially the whole thing drops. But obviously you have to remove the shocks here, just the bottom bolts. We'll remove it from the top later. Get the springs out. We have brake lines to worry about. Back here, you just undo those soft lines from the hard line. It comes out with the subframe. And yeah, I think that's basically it. So this will come down rather quickly. This will, all things considered, this is gonna be probably a quick video for today, and then I'll get back at it tomorrow. So yeah, it's it'll be a quick one. So let me go ahead and get my air compressor on and get things going, get tools over here and start draining some oil, and we'll get at it. Cool. Well, I got the car lowered down a little bit so we can get the wheels off. Like I said, I don't want to hit my head while working on it. Appears to be 21 mil sockets for the wheel lugs. And I got my impact batteries charging. So today I'm going to be using my conventional pneumatic impact, my good old Ingersoll Rand. I've had this is my first impact I've had in it. It's definitely a righteous impact. It's nice. I just got kind of spoiled with batteries, you know, being able to just move freely with them, but I definitely love air pneumatics a bit more. All right. I believe that he said there's a wheel key in there, so I have to go get that real quick. So let's just pause, get the ladder and climb in there and see where it's at, because I didn't see it initially. We'll just go through the passenger side here. All right, so let's see what we got going on. Is it in the glove box? I can't remember. Yeah, there. No, is that it? No, that's not it. And maybe it's in the center console, hopefully anyways. Not seen it there, so I don't think my regular wheel keys will work. This is trash. So let's see if they do, because I might have to take a break and call them. These might work, we'll just find out. Nope. All right, well, kind of puts a wrench in the wheels, you know. Let me call him real quick and see if he knows where it is at. He said it was in the car. I obviously can't see it right away. So I'll be right back, guys. Let me go give him a call. All right, found it. It was somewhere up front near the passenger area. So I think it's safe to use an impact on this. Usually they'll have a warning saying not to, if it is a anti, but yeah, it was fine. Okay, let's move on. Let's get the rest of these off. Yeah, I tell you what, pneumatic impacts are just way better than battery. But I get the convenience of the battery though, I certainly do. Need more airline here. Okay. Okay. All right, let's get the last wheel. Let's get that, and then we'll get the oil draining while I'm working on the drive shaft. We'll just set impact down for a moment. Put those right there. All right, let's get these. Looks like it has new tires on these. That's good. So we'll make 2 piles so that I know which side came off, you know, in which specific area. It's cool seeing these old school genuine BBS wheels. These are definitely E50s, same pattern that's on the wide body. Okay, I got the wheels off. Let's bring it up. Very good. It's looking good. All right, so like I said, let's get the oil draining. Bum, bum, bum. All right, so how I do it, of course, use some form of catching the oil. So we don't make a mess. Okay, you guys can see hopefully. Alright, you gotta be careful when you do this so you don't strip the square cap or, you know, socket. I actually have the correct socket for this. I have no idea where I put it since I moved out here to Tennessee. I haven't been able to find it, so I might have to just buy a new one. But it's just for reference. The socket there, the square head, it's not a half drive. I mean, a half drive will obviously work as I'm doing it here, but it's not. It'll actually round out if you're not careful. So. Oil looks good. He might have recently changed it. Oh, I don't know, but it looks clean. Okay. All right, so first things first, let's get this exhaust down and go from there. Looks like the exhaust was serviced at one point. It has non-factory bolts in there, which is fine, and it's actually kind of cool to see that because I just know things are gonna hopefully come out pretty nicely. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and work on the downpipe there. So you can see right away the downpipe has been off. These are the 2 factory studs and bolts there, but there's a bolt up there that's not factory. So it's very common for these to snap and people have to drill them out and re-tap and all that. So I'm hoping it just comes out with ease. So with that said, I'm just gonna go ahead and use an impact on it. I don't care if I break it because I'm gonna have to probably deal with it at any point, especially if we go to a new turbo. It's not gonna be an issue. So we'll see where we need to get to. It looks like there's a nut in there that needs to come out. Don't know where this mystery traveler came from, but it's gone now. Okay, extension. I'm not sure if I need to go super long, or you lose torque if you go too long. So let's see. That's good. That's good. All right, we can use the shorter one. Okay. That's not happy. Not happy. Got one out. That's the bolt. So these are supposed to be 14s. They're old to where they've lost some height. So we need to think about maybe hammering a 13 on there. Let's see if that works. Yeah, we're going to have to hammer it on, unfortunately. Hopefully that's what gets it to bite. We'll see. Kind of coming. Not really. I got a small bite on there, but nothing significant as far as getting that one worked. So that one got on. So let's see if I can get that one to come loose. I do have one of those twist, what are they called? Stripped nut extractors. I have one of those kits. I'm gonna have to break that out. All right, well, cut that out, trash. Let me try hammer it one more time. Just see, because that was actually pretty successful. Let me probably spray some WD-40. See if I can get that to be more convinced to slip on. I mean, I can try it, but it's barely got a bite on there. I'll try it. I don't have any faith that it'll work. Very surprised that it did. That is crazy. Look at that, I barely have a bite on there. That is crazy. Let's see if I can get that off. That's gonna be annoying. Let's see, is this long enough? Nope. We will use an extension. Let's see. I just need a hard metal. Let me go over to the, I guess the anvil to see if I can get that to driven out. Well, hold on. Yeah, we'll kind of thinking too much about it, aren't I? I don't know if this is actually reaching down all the way. it's not touching it. Dang it. All right, well, we'll do it a different way. Watch this. Let's use the vise to grip hold of the nut. And we'll just whack it off. Hold it up here. Old, soft, rusted metal, I guess. But I'm glad we got it out easily. Looks like we don't need to drill and tap those. I'll have to just chase them with a tap, the studs that is, and we'll be able to use those again. Okay, so the catalytic converter, those look to be a 17. Let me grab those. 17. I might need an extension. All right, let's take a look. Nope, too big. Let's try a 14, actually. I was probably incorrect. I'll go to white. There we go. And we're gonna use a regular drive. Some things I like doing by hand just to kind of get a feel for it. If you guys can see at all. Okay. Got the downpipe off pretty easily. Really just shows that it's been removed semi-recently, within the past 10 years, I'm guessing. Okay, everything's looking good there. And so we need to get the exhaust loosened up and stuff. So it's definitely an aftermarket exhaust, 3-inch downpipe. Has a different bracket here for the Z31. That's pretty cool looking. But yeah, it needs to come down, at least in such a way that I can, remove it. Kind of just thinking out loud, just bear with me for a moment. Yeah, we'll get those out. All right. So kind of did that by hand, I guess. I should have used a box wrench to hold the other side. Let's see if it holds true with this other guy. Yeah, need the box wrench. Okay, let's take a look. Where did my 14 go? There it is. Okay, let's get back at it. Okay. Got the exhaust down. Check that out, it's over there. And the old gasket. We're gonna keep the gasket so I can use it either to make one, or if they have one we can match up, because these are actually not regularly at auto parts stores. I might have to order it if we could decide to reuse that. So kind of to be continued. And then just taking a look back here. That's a 12 up at the top up there, 12 over there. These are 12 millimeters. And there's only one on that side, and that's actually a socket, it looks like. Okay. Well, that's what we'll do. We'll take the socket down, and then kind of crusty. We'll get this 12. So we got the whole exhaust dropped. The Z31 exhaust can be kind of hard to, you know, kind of a bear to struggle with sometimes. But other times it's pretty easy to take down. All right, so 12, I need an extension. Let's do this guy, and possibly with a joint at the end of it, because I saw a weird angle. Oops. Okay. And we will do, I think it was just estimating, looking at it, I think it's going to be this guy right here. So, which is a 6. And we might need a box wrench. Okay, let's keep going. Before I get to this one, I kind of want to do this one first, so that when I drop the down subframe side, I don't want it to swing down and hit that up there. Oh, I gotta sneeze. All right. Let's see if this is the right one. Yep. Guesstimated correctly. All right, let's just. I just don't know if if the nut that's in there is going to stay in place while I'm. Seems to be coming out pretty nicely. Okay. All right, and then we just got to get to that last bolt up there, which is a 12 as well, with a box wrench. All right. See if it's coming off easily or not. Alright, it's definitely coming down. I just don't want it to fall and hit me, you know? I think I'll do the rest by hand if I can. Got it. Not too bad. I didn't break anything. Exhaust bolts on these cars are just the worst because it seems like they are just prone to snapping, unfortunately. All right, e-brake cable is loose, thankfully. And let's go ahead and get the heat shields down, so that way we can get the drive shaft and the sway bar removed, and then from there transmission will be out momentarily. So let's use the mighty Ingersoll Rand impact with a 10 mil. Okay, got that down. Okay. It is definitely a blown diff. That is crazy. I can't wait to look inside and see what all happened. That's just crazy. Honestly, wouldn't have thought that would happen. It's interesting though. Okay, so I need a 10 mil wrench and then a smaller pry bar like this guy to loosen the brake cable tensioner. Looks like it's almost maxed out. So. I hate dropping tools. All right. Yeah, it is literally maxed out. Cable is like stretched. That is crazy. So after you loosen the lock nut on the back side, you just untwist it a fair amount to where it gets slop, and then you can just take it off through this little looped eye hole. Let's see if I have enough slop. Not yet. You might have to go possibly all the way off like this. Nope, I have to come all the way off. Let me put this down. Okay. So then after I move it, I just put it back on so I don't lose it. But we're not gonna be using this. Oh, actually we will use this. This says subframe stuff. I use that as the tensioner adjustment for the brake cable. And it was missing its little spring there. That's interesting. I mean, obviously when they forgot to put it back on when they did the exhaust, I'm assuming, but no big deal. All right, so remove the sway bar. I don't need to remove it all the way. I just need to pull it down so I can get to the bolts up here. So that's just 14s again. Making decent progress. I'm trying to hurry up because I don't want to be working this late tonight. Okay, and just give it a good yank. There you go. So now you got your excessive play that you need to get that. So this, I hate doing the drive shaft on a stock Z31 because it's so hard to get your hand under here, or the box wrench that for that matter, to loosen these nuts. It just sucks, but it's just part of the design. One of the, for me, like one of the biggest selling reasons to go to a chassis subframe. Definitely makes it easier. All right, so I generally just take a pry bar, my box wrench, two box wrenches. I have a 14 and a 17. I double up on the 14 where I can if I need to get it off. So watch how I do this, guys. So you have to kind of get it at this weird angle, and if you don't get a full bite on it, it will strip. I swear these are like the worst. This is like the worst design. All right, that did it. All right, and the reason why I have a pry bar is to put it between the U-joints, so that way I can get good, you know, leverage and hold it down without having to like have someone pull the e-brake every so often, you know. All right. So have it just hang that for a second. Kind of do this carefully. There we go. Kind of screwed up there. What we're gonna do this time is just, there we go. We'll just have the body hold that pry bar for me, right? That way I don't have to mess with it with my hands. All right. Oh, silly me. Am I going the wrong way? No, I'm going the right way. Lefty-loosey. Yeah, lefty-loosey. Just feels weird. Sometimes when I'm working under a car, it just kind of throws me for a loop, you know? Yeah, what's going on here? There we go. It's quite the satisfying little crack when you get a seized bolt loose, you know? Man, yeah, these bolts, they are old and crusty. Not even worth saving. Kind of surprised that it hasn't just, you know, snapped when I just did that. But now you can see why I really hate working on this subframe with the drive shaft the way it is. Okay, so we're gonna actually leave the bolts in there because you need an anchor point for when you're going after these. Because when you get to the last one, if you don't have a bolt in there from one of the other four, it'll kind of rotate weird on you. All right. Oh, come on, that's kind of fighting me a little bit here. In my last video I just did, you saw how easy it is to remove drive shaft bolts with the S chassis. Super easy. This just makes it just a pain in the butt. We are making slow progress. I swear, the act of getting the drive shaft out is like the part that takes the longest in dropping the transmission, in my opinion. Good grief. All right, I think it's, nope, these will not spin by hand because they are so crusty. It's frustrating. So one thing that we'll be videoing, I mean, I'm gonna do my best to video this whole car and its project, but one thing that I'll try to capture is the installation of a subframe swap. I don't think anyone's done that yet. I don't think anyone's actually documented it from start to finish. So hopefully I can do that and provide some service to the community in that respect, you know? There it goes, satisfying crack. Okay. Taking so long, you know, it's ridiculous. That one came out good. That was awesome. So let's get this last one and call it a dead drive shaft. I doubt this drive shaft's even good to even consider selling used. Just comparing it to the condition of these, you know, these nuts here. So I guess while we're just kind of slowly unbolting this, looking at this long nose R200, to me, they just seem old and decrepit, you know? I'm so used to the short nose, like 350Z, 370Z stuff. In my effort and pursuit of collecting diff covers, I have moved to procuring, if I can get this out, dang, that thing is wedged in there. What did I do? But anyways, I gotta get a hammer. I started buying the Subaru long nose R160, R180 diff covers because Subaru was actually using them. The R200, R180, and R160 are actually made by Hitachi. So, granted, they're not a Nissan diff. There's people in like the Datsun community who do buy the Subaru stuff, and they bolt right in. It's crazy to think about that. But anyway, thought I should know. So my point is, I have been buying those diff covers, and I bought in order to get a diff cover that I wanted, I had to buy the diff with it. It was cheap. It was like 60 bucks. And so I took off the, you know, I have the long nose R160. And it's just a weird, you know, it's just a shorter, not a shorter, but a smaller version of this diff. It's just weird. I'm actually removing the handle by doing that. There we go. Cool. All right, I got my pry bar back. The car tried to eat it. All right, so we are ready to pull this out. We just need to get these stubborn bolts. I'm just letting them drop because we're definitely not going to be reusing them. I'm going to throw them away for how crusty they are. So we're going to see in here in a moment if this shaft has ever been removed, because in factory they put oil between the companion flanges as a heat barrier, like a heat sink. So when I pull this out, if oil comes out, it's not because there's like a hole through the companion flanges, that they pre-fill it as a, you know, a heat dissipation. I mean, it is seized on there. That's crazy. Let's just give it a good old tap and break its rusted seal. Guys, check it out. There we go. So yeah, this has been removed, and you can see that there was oil in there. So we'll get this drive shaft pulled out. Man, it was definitely in there. Curious, let's check out the condition. So, it's notchy. Let's check this one. Definitely bad, holy smokes. Can you hear that? Yeah, it's definitely bad. That's garbage. Take it to the recyclers. All right, so now we're ready to drop the transmission, and it looks like I need to change the battery on the GoPro. So let me get that. I think that the batteries over on my welding bench. I can't believe how fast these batteries just get burned through, but I keep the LCD on so I can make sure I can see what you guys see. I'm sure having the LCD off would actually, you know, save some battery. So let me swap this battery out real quick and we'll be right back at it. Okay, battery swapped out. Let's put this on the charger. There's a charger over here. And that way I can get it charging at the same time. Let's see. Green and yellow. So we'll just put that right there for now. All right. Okay, so let's get the transmission going and put the strain plug back. 71 Bravo. I knew they exist, I just never seen one. I mean, I don't know what's different about them. Maybe different synchros, maybe different ratio. I don't know. Speculation, you know. I've just never seen one. They're not anything special, I'll tell you that. I'd rather have a 71C than a 71B. So let's put this over here for now. Actually, I was gonna say let me drain the oil of the diff, but I'll do that in a bit. All right, so we need to get my, look what I did. My transmission jack is behind the rubbish. Okay. The bolt has decided to fall out at some point. Oh, there it is. This is the bolt for the support brackets here. I never get them like super tight, I just keep them kind of hand threaded. I suppose just wheeling this around is enough to vibrate them out. Okay. So we don't need it quite yet, because what we need first is my T-handle jack, because I'm gonna lower the transmission down so I can access the bolts a lot easier. And you know, whether or not you guys have a car lift like I do, or you're doing this on the ground with jack stands, do the same thing. Lower the tail of the transmission so you can actually get to the bolts. It makes life a whole lot easier. Like as far as those top bolts up there. So got different bolts there. Someone's been here before. Those looks like to be 17s. Where are they? Hope they're 17s. Yeah. Butterfingers. All right, let's just keep going. So if you don't have the jack supported like that, it'll just drop dramatically. And I've already made one major mistake right now. I just caught myself. I forgot about it, but I caught it in time. Nothing happened yet. I forgot to undo this shifter. I always forget to do that. So we need to release undo the shifter bezel in the boot so that we can lower the shifter down on all one assembly. Always forget to do that. So let's do that real quick. Drop the screwdriver that I need. So in all the years I've been working on Z31s, only one time has the shifter handle fought me in a sense of like, did someone put, you know, Loctite on the handle? So I haven't touched this yet. I'm very happy to see that it's coming out nicely. That's pretty cool. That's Nismo. Yeah, you know, and yeah, it's in there pretty good. So let's, I suppose, do this right. This is a pry point down here, and you got a flat blade screwdriver. Come on. Man, it is it glued in there or what? Good grief. Man, it almost feels like it is glued down. This is a bit ridiculous. Let's see, what is going on? There we go. It was glued. That was super glued. Yeah, nothing broke. That was just the glue coming loose and cracking. That's crazy. It's still glued elsewhere. Dang. Dang, Daniel. Good grief. Ah, there we go. All right. You guys see okay? Get that bolt loose. Come on. Okay. All right. Hate that little shifter plate. It doesn't come out. You always have to like bring it at a weird angle. All right, one of the bolts, that screw was up there. I have to get a magnet to fish it out, but at least I know where it's at. All right, so that's good to come down now. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. All right. Cool, so we'll get busy again. Let's put these lug nuts back up there. All right. So the Z31 is not the hardest transmission to pull out. It's not bad. 350 is actually not bad either. I don't think I like the Z32. It was fine when I was working on a few of them, but just the exhaust makes it not so fun, you know. So now that we got that, you lowered it down like this. So you hear that noise, that crunching noise? Blown motor mounts. So he definitely needs new motor mounts. And I felt it. I felt the motor twisting, you know, moving when I was driving the car the other day, test driving. This is, look at that. Woo! That is, that is done. All right, so once you get it down, kind of pull it down a bit because it can come down a little bit more to give you a little more angle. So, let's get the speedometer cable unhooked. That's crusty and broken. Huh. Okay, well, that stays there, I guess. And this is broken too. That's interesting. All right. And one thing I forgot to do, I'm sure you guys are screaming at me right now, is I forgot to unhook the battery. So we'll go do that right now because I need to undo the starter and I don't want to have a shocking experience. So yeah, let me get the ladder and unhook it. I think the hood is still popped. Nope. Just gotta pop the hood. Okay. All right. Might have to lower the car down a bit. Matter of fact, well, we'll see. Pretty sure I have to do that. We'll see when I get over there. All right. No, I don't have to. What did he do for battery terminals? Okay, it looks like I just might need an 11 or a 12. I can't tell right off the bat. We'll go ahead and get that. Grab both. Okay. And let's see which one it is. 10, methinks. Sorry, I know you guys can't really see right now. Okay, so battery terminal disconnected. Ish. He has this other thing going on, which is weird. Let me pull this rubber cap off. I want all negative unplugged, you know, because it's providing power where I don't want it to have power. What is going on with this thing? What did he do? All right, well, I think I need a lower car. I can't see what's going on. There's some weird battery terminal posts. I'll see what's going on with this. You got some aftermarket battery terminals going on. I just need to see how to take off the negative post completely. Okay, I see it. There's an Allen key back there. Don't know what size right away. Should put these back. I'm gonna guesstimate that it's like an 8, is my guess. So here's an 8. Let's just go try that and see if that fits it. It's kind of weird. No, definitely smaller than 8. It's probably a 6, if it is metric. I'll just try these two and see where that puts us. Too big. There we go, got it. Kind of weird, never seen this before. Okay, there we go. Got the battery terminals removed. I'm gonna go ahead and just put it out of the way so nothing accidentally happens. Okay, I'll leave the hood up. I might get some light while I'm down there. All right, let's keep going. All right, so we gotta do the speedometer. Well, that's a 10. We got the other wiring done, but let's see about getting the starter undone and the slave cylinder here. That's a 14 first, so we'll do the slave first, we'll do the starter next. And then, oops, drop that. All right. It's an OEM slave cylinder. That's kind of cool to see, I guess. I like to put the bolts back where I can. Those are not the original bolts. It looks to be just weird 17s that were put there. No big deal. Let me get a different extension. Wobbly, so I can get the weird angle that they are. All right, got that out. Got that one out. So technically the starter is free now. The oil temperature sender. Not sure what is all this rat's nest. Someone's definitely been here before. It's kind of makes it difficult when you're trying to understand someone's decisions. So I'm gonna snip some zip ties. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. So this is part of the transmission wiring. I'm just gonna take it out and toss it in the pile. And then make sure there's nothing else hindering my ability to do this. It looks like the reason why his oil pressure wasn't working is because it was simply unplugged. So that explains that. There's another random wire of it. It looks like it's pinched. So I mean, this is like some hackery right there. So there's no wonder that wasn't working. So we'll just leave that there, I guess. And we can thankfully, you know, normally on the US cars, the steering box is on the other side. So, you know, it kind of makes it a little bit of a challenge to get the, there's a bolt here for the transmission, but I can still get it. And it looks like the oil pressure was unplugged too. So that's a discovery. And he was wondering about that, like, hey, why is it not working? I just told him I'd look at it and see what I figured out. So for starters, you know, it was unplugged, both the oil temperature and oil pressure. So hopefully that's all it was, unplugged. It's kind of way some things don't work sometimes, you know? So let's get this the only one and only rear facing bolt out. Cool. So that's out. And we'll need to reuse these bolts. They seem to be in good shape, so that's good. So let's go ahead and get the other ones. I lied when I said those are the only rear facing ones. I forgot about these tiny ones. I don't really take these as transmission bolts because of how tiny they are. Some of the Z32 guys just don't even run them when they go to a bigger pan. Like I know I don't, because my hammerhead pan prevents me from using these. So I never use these. They don't really do anything. In fact, he's actually missing the support bracket completely on this side. These are just holding on to his little dust shield shim there. That's funny. See, like, I don't make this stuff up, guys. That's funny. All right. So when I go to remove the bell housing bolts, I just do it by hand. One of those I go by feel. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's see if I can do it with a 3/8 ratchet. Oops, that's a 12, 14. All right. That one cracked pretty good. Oh, so I'll take this one out, but usually I start from the top, because that's the hard ones to get to. And after I get the top two out, I then have to lower my lift because my transmission jack will not reach this high. So just a kind of a heads up there. So there's one bolt over here on the side that I'll wait on. Actually, that one's already out too, so that one was missing. So how many are left? Let's see, 1, 2, should be 3 left. And 3, there's the 3rd. Oh no, there's the 4th. So there's 4 left. All right, cool. All right, so let's get those long ones out of the way, or the top ones out of the way. And let's see if I don't need to use the half drive. Let's see if I can get away with the 3/8. All right. Where is it? I have to go by feel. All right, I need to go longer in extension. I'm not gonna break my back doing this. It's already hurting as it is. I might as well go to the half drive. So if you can see, get my reducer, go from half drive to 3/8. Okay. All right. That one's loose. So far these are coming out nice. Not too challenging. Sometimes it's just like, you know, getting to the transmission bolts is just the worst thing of life when you're doing this transmission drop. Put that there for now. So let's get this guy over there. And I need to get that speedometer cable removed. I'm just, as you can tell, I'm kind of powering through this because I kind of want to be done for today. But we'll just hurry up. Alright, that one went pretty well. Slipped off the bolt. Alright. I think it's out. Yep. All right. So I need to get my 10 mil, get that out so we can get that, and I need a zip tie and a paper towel, a couple paper towels to hold everything together and so that it doesn't drip. So 10, and I got 2 zip ties right here, which is perfect. And then we need 2 paper towels. Let me show you how you do this. So first, obviously, remove the bolts holding the speedometer cable. Don't want to lose a little half moon or a little piece of metal that holds it in place. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because we're putting a different transmission in. Okay, this is why you need a paper towel, because of that. So I was expected that. So just to make it not as bad, I just shoved paper towel in there. Like that. And then I will, so, you know, going to the Tremec Magnum here, I haven't figured out what we're gonna do with the speedometer yet, because the Magnum uses a different sensor. It's actually what you call a VR or VS sensor. It's a different even signal that Nissan uses in the later Z31s and the Z32. We just haven't got that far. I did see that I think it's called Dakota Digital has a conversion box to convert the signal, and you can hook up your speedometer cable back up to it. So that's, you know, I have a solution in mind for the guy. I just haven't really decided how we're going to do it yet. Kind of get there when we get there. And the speedometer wasn't even working to begin with. So the whole way out here, driving here, he was using GPS, which he might have to do again if we can't figure this out in time, because again, we're on a kind of a time crunch. So let me wipe out that mess, because I don't want to step in it while working. It wasn't much, but let's just. Okay, might as well get whatever this was. Okay. All right. So we got 2 more bolts to go, and then we're ready. I'm gonna leave the easiest one available. I'll get 1 more out, and then I'll load the transmission. What I was gonna say is I want to get the easiest ones out first from this position, so it's easy for my back. And then when we lower the car down a bit, you'll have to kind of squat a bit more. Oops. hand. Yeah, these bolts are coming out nice and good, you know, nice and easy. I don't have to fight them. Makes life a little easier. Okay, got that bolt out. And then, like I said, now we need to lower the car, get the transmission jack up on there. All right. And you know, I love this new transmission jack I got. I hated the one we had to use a hand crank or hand pump, like, you know, a typical cherry picker, you know. This makes it so much easier. Gets your hands free. So much faster. All right, this feels good. Pretty much as high as I can go with it, which is not bad. It's just, you know, me being 6'2", wish I can go a bit taller on it. So what I do, if you can see, I lower the car to where the transmission just rests on it, like that. Clear that out of the way. And there we go. So that's that. And we get that last bolt and transmission's out. And then once it's out, then I'll put the strap on it. Where I put the transmission jack is where it's balanced, you know, center weight. Where is it? There it is. So I know it's not gonna tip like crazy. Almost. I know you guys can't see anything right now, just bear with me. All right. This is probably no different from how I moved the transmission on the other car. It's exactly the same steps I do. All right, so I got the transmission bolts out. And before I tug and pull on it, let me just do a quick hand sweep to make sure I got them all. So on the right side, it's good. On the left side, it is also good. Okay, we're clear. All right. So I just kind of shimmy it back and forth. Pop the tail shafts seal out. That's kind of funny. All right, it's kind of out. Okay, so it's out. Stick shift's about to hit the tunnel window. There we go. Set that out. Okay, so now what I need to do is lower the transmission down carefully. I got it good. There it is, 71. Well, that's weird. It says 71C right there. Check that out. It says 71C right there, but the plate of the car says 71 Bravo. So at some point the transmission was replaced. Interesting. Oh well. Oh, here's a 71C. Makes me wonder if there's a reason why the 71C was replaced, or 71B. All right, so got that out. These like do not weigh anything. Look at this. All right, transmission's down. Let's take a look at the undercarriage real quick to review things. This chain got all messed up. I'm gonna take this chain off. I never use this chain. It drives me nuts. I end up using straps anyways. It's kind of weird if you ask me. Okay, I did see a bolt drop from it. All right. So we've got a flashlight, and we'll do a quick review of the clutch. Set up. Let's get you guys looking. It's factory clutch. You got the Nissan part number right up there. It says Nissan right there. It's pretty cool. Definitely a rear main leak. Nothing really crazy that I'm seeing otherwise, other than the power steering is leaking. That sucks because that's a right-hand drive only thing. I don't know. Seems pretty normal otherwise. From working on an old Z31. Definitely got the original clutch though, or at least a replacement from Nissan. But this looks original. I mean, this looks old, so that's kind of cool to see. And inside the turbo looks turbo-ish. Exhaust, or the O2 sensor is the original. That's good. Yeah. Cool. Everything looks what I expect it to look like. And all that looks good. All right, let's get the subframe going, and I use the transmission jack to get that down as well. Definitely kind of a pain in the ass though. I used to, on my other floor or transmission jack I had in Colorado, I made a huge cradle that would sit on top of it to hold the entire weight of this, but I figured out where to, put this so it balances out pretty well. But we need to get the rear arms moved forward. Get the arms moved forward so that I can have clearance for subframe stuff, subframe droppage, and then that will be the end of today's video. So what I do, and I don't recommend this, guys, it's definitely sketchy. I've done it a few times where I kind of got a good idea of what I'm doing here, but essentially what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just move up this side of the car just so you know, so I can reposition this arm. It is dangerous, so please don't think like you can just, do this. So. And when you're doing this, if you do want to do it, keep an eye on the car and where it's supposed to rest, because the moment if you see something silly start to happen, lower the jack. Go do it by hand. So let's see. I think I need to go more inward. Like right there, looks good. Yeah, I feel good about that. So Okay, so now I gotta do the other side. Okay, we're clear. Swing it in a bit more too. Kind of troubling because I might have to put it kind of on there. Yeah, we're going to do half, like a bit on the, because I'm all the way inward, you know, like all the way inward. Or outwards, I mean. So we're gonna do a little bit on the pinch weld, but some on the body. It'll be fine. I've done it before. Most of it will actually hit the puck or mount, you know, because that's what's protruding downwards. Yeah, it's fine. Just don't let me see you doing that, you know. Okay, so as I'm doing this, what you gotta do to drop it like this is you need to get these subframe supported. So actually we're gonna put it right back. I just kind of overthought that for a second. Okay. Because if you unbolt the diff, that whole thing's gonna come crashing down. And while we're not gonna reuse it, it's bad habits. So again, I'm just supporting the subframe on its original mounts-ish areas. All right, so before we go and remove the diff mount, which would literally just have everything drop, we need to keep unbolt the coil, the shocks on both sides right here and there. And then we need to undo the brake lines, and that's it before we get to the mount for the diff. So let's do brake lines first. And you want to separate the brake lines from the body. So I'm just gonna do that from the hard lines, not the soft lines. I mean, you separate the hard lines that's coming from the body. So I use my dedicated flare wrench that's for, you know, split flare wrench. And then I grab just a conventional 10 as well. You also need to grab a pair of the needle nose pliers to pull out the retainer clips. So first you want to use your wrench to loosen it. There it goes, and then got it. So do a couple of those until it's loose, and then you finish it off the rest with your, if you can't do it by hand, let's see if we can do it by hand. Hey, nice. Rest by hand. So obviously it's gonna drip. That's kind of expected. So you'll need to, you know, bleed the brakes. Okay. So I just gotta remove the retainer. Almost got it out. I'm trying to avoid being dripped on right now. All right, got it out. This guy right here. And then you just remove the soft line from the hole that it's resting in. And you can, you know, put the hard line back-ish out of the way. Okay, I'm just gonna drop that clip for now. So one more to do up here. So you got to make sure you use these dedicated brake line wrenches, you know, because you risk stripping and rounding off the head of the bolt or the brake line nut, and then from there you have to like either cut it off, which, you know, that sucks, or you have to use vice grips, which also sucks. So use the right tools, get it done right. Come on. Just in an awkward position. Let's see if I can. There it goes. Ah, come on. There it goes. A little bit crusty. Not bad. Okay. Got that out. Then let's get that retainer clip removed. I'm probably gonna change my gloves after this because getting brake fluid on your hand actually burns. I don't like it. Come on, it's fighting me a little bit. There it goes. Okay. So you got the retainer out, you gotta pull the line out of its little resting home. And then I'm gonna change my gloves, so now they're saturated in brake fluid. I don't like that stuff, it's gross. And it, like I said, it burns if you leave it on your skin for too long. New gloves. I get these at Home Depot. They're really cheap when they go on sale, so I usually buy like 20 of these bags, and they last me a couple years. So, just a little tip there. All right, so I keep saying coilovers because I'm used to working on coilovers. But I need to get those shocks done or removed from the rear, and then just the diff mount, then the whole thing comes down. And then we're gonna be done for the day on that. So shocks are 17. Let me wipe off this because it's totally nasty. So I'm going to tell him that he probably needs to get a new brake master as well. It just so happens I actually have a couple right-hand drive BM57s in my shed that'll, you know, from a Z32 that'll definitely work on his car. So he'll benefit from having a larger brake master. Anyways, so 17, like I said, need that, and then you also need to have a box wrench. Flare wrench to get them off. Oops. I overthought that. Okay, so first off, note, coilover, or the coils are just chilling there. Like, let me just remove it like that, you know? If you don't, it'll come crashing down, boing, and hit your truck, or my truck anyways. So let's get this out of the way. So there's the springs. And let's go ahead and get the shock removed. Okay, and I just tap it out with a hammer very carefully so I don't mar up the threads. And we'll just set this nut over here. I doubt we're going to reuse these. Okay. Yeah, I highly doubt we're going to we use these. I make a different bracket for the coilovers we're gonna put in on the Z32 uprights. Okay, so let me get my hammer. And my little punch drive here. You'll see how I use it. Oh, there's already one on the bench. So what I do, if you guys can see, so here's that bolt right there, right? So I put the tip of it in there, so it kind of centers it, you know, as I'm pounding it. Okay, that one's out. Just toss that, pick it up later. Same thing. Okay, so knock it loose, so now it's ready to come down with the diff mount. So let's get this heat shield down, and then there's a 17, there's two 17s and a 14 up there, and then we're done. We can get it down and call it a day, and I'll be back at it tomorrow. But for now, let's go ahead and get the rest of everything pulled down. So there's a 10 right here that I know of. There's another one over here. Okay. Got that heat shield. Okay, and then, like I said, two 14s and a 17. I got a 17 in my hand right now, so we'll get those first. And I'll go on the bench and get the 14. Drop it. And obviously I don't want to just get those 14s right now, or the whole thing will come crashing down. So again, we have to do the same thing like we did the transmission. Lower the car down a bit, get ready, because this thing's actually pretty heavy. I actually did weigh it at one point when I was doing a subframe swap. Out of curiosity, I'll go over there and check it out. The weight, I took a picture of it on my phone. Let's see. I'll show you guys in a second. Where is it? Ah, here we go. So, if you can see. So that's my buddy's car, and then so he got his rear subframe from his Z31. So if you look right there on the scale, 286.2. And then we got this S13 subframe in his with the Q45 diff, essentially the same thing as a 350. Aftermarket arms and the twin turbo axles. And then his weight at 281. So they're essentially the same weight, which is pretty cool. Like something you don't really think about when you're doing the subframe swap is, are you gonna be messing up the front to rear weight distribution ratio? And in this case, you're not. It's exactly the same. Well, pretty much within a pound. And I think like the S13 diff is actually lighter than the Z31 diff, so it could be even lighter if you use that. So the majority of the weight is going to be, if you look, the majority of the weight is going to be right here, because the diff, the pumpkin up here, it definitely weighs a bit, but then you have all this mass up here, so you want to put it right here. So this part sucks, I'm not going to lie. It really does suck. So that's it. It's maxed out, and I'm a little bothered because it's gonna be kind of a pain to lower the car down a bit more because of these jack heads. I gotta sneeze again. Whew. I try not to on camera. All right, so just thinking kind of out loud here. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna just leave it how it is, and we're gonna unbolt it. It won't come crashing down because the jack stands are holding everything, and we're gonna slowly lower it down by hand with the T-handle jack, so it'll be fine. I think that's what I did last time. Don't you hate it when you have to sneeze and you decide not to? So that's what I'm doing. Oh, that's a 13. I need a 14. Okay, here we go. So it's gonna swing down a little bit, but not too far. I'm hoping anyways. Yeah, I'm gonna do one hand, hold it up, and then gently lower it with my hand. All right, cool. I was just worried that it was gonna drop. And I've definitely done this before, so. Okay, so it's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. So everything is ready to come out. So here we go. Like I said a moment ago, I'm gonna go slowly, lower it by T-handle. Okay. Just kind of checking things out as it comes down. There's a possibility that it's gonna get pinched or binding on these studs because these old rubber mounts will kind of bend and get bound up on stuff. So we might have to get the pry bar out, which I think, yep, we have to get the pry bar out just like I thought. So I'm gonna go get it, but it's coming down fine. Let me get the big pry bar. It's over here. Big one. All right. So all right, there we go. And bounding up again. There we go. Those bushings are shot, the subframe bushings. So right away, I'm not liking the angle here because the diff, I'm gonna take out these weird brackets here on the side. It's causing it to not want to sit correctly. If you know what I mean. So it's not really feeling safe. Let me go back up a little bit. Okay, because I was worried that once I get this out, it's just gonna topple forward or backwards on top of me. That one out, just put it over here. Get the other one out. These were causing the subframe to not want to go where I want it to go. Okay. Sorry about that. Wasn't keeping an eye on the battery and it died, so I just put a new one in. Okay, so what I was trying to do was to get this plate positioned where I want it, and it looks pretty good right there. So let me just, well, I'm gonna leave it there, I guess. So let's continue lowering it down carefully. It's binding up again, that's lovely. Okay. So where's that pry bar? Yeah, see that right there, guys? It's binding. Definitely not desirable. I was in a better state before I had to go back up. All right. Got it down a bit. And let's see, where is this one at? Binding as well. Good. Let's put it down a bit too. Okay. So I just want to make sure that I got this plate positioned in such a way that's going to distribute a lot of the weight, because it's going to come down and it's going to be heavy. 282 pounds is quite a bit of meat. Okay, so that one is pretty much resting most of its weight now on the transmission jack. I'm going to reposition this to be right here now. Going down nice and slow. Okay. So I think we're kind of in a spot now to where I can slowly lower it down with the jack. Slowly, you know. I don't want to have a situation where it, you know, dings up my cement. So that's looking pretty good. Okay. Got a little bit of a, is it coming down now? Almost. Okay, so it's not even resting its weight at all. You can kind of see that, right? Now I'm gonna get the straps now, because it's 100% pretty much resting on the jack, which is good, 100% good, but definitely terrifying. So let me get my strap. I can't, this is like the second time I've done it this way. I really missed that cradle. That cradle made it super easy. I made the cradle, I just haven't got around to making another one. Okay. Let's see. Come on. see how I'm gonna get this hooked up. That looks good. Okay. And just kind of, I just don't want it in my way actually, so let me just wind it up and stick it underneath it. I have tripped on this once and it kind of almost had me go flying face forward on the trans. Okay, that's definitely sketchy. Okay, so we're ready to remove the T-handles. All right, so right now I can feel that it's backside heavy. So I kind of overshot the weight estimate. So as I lower it down, I'm gonna have to keep my hand right here. And then I guess before I get too busy, too carried ahead here, I need to get my engine hoist to be ready to catch it, because I really don't want to do it with my own body. Not saying I'm not super strong, pretty sure I'm strong, but not that strong. Picked up a rock, that's annoying. Okay, and let's get it. One of these days I might get one of those pneumatic ones where you put an air hose to it to help do this part. Make life a little easier. Go. So again, this is to prevent any accidental droppage and hit the cement or my foot or something. So I think what we'll do is loop around the axles and like so. That way it's got a firm bite on it. You see this, right? I got it looped around. And then, yeah, so once it comes down, I'm gonna do this by myself, brace it. Then once it comes down to a little bit lower, then I'll use the hoist to help me catch it. There we go. All right, see how I got that? So once it comes down up to right about here, I'll hook the chain up to it and have me, you know, help me get this down. Here we go. So far, so good. Nice and slow. Oh yeah, that's not bad. Okay, I was super worried about that. So I was right with the balance. Whew, sorry guys, all that work for nothing. But better safe than sorry. I could let it go down faster, but I'll just not do that right now. Pretty good progress for today. There we go. Switch it up. Definitely makes it easier, doesn't it? And I'll still use the chain here to carry it off. I'm worried that if I try to like move it around, the slightest push might send it over. But check out that. Cool, that works. Subframe has been removed. So I think it's the first time I've done that on video. So, you know, if you do it on jack stands, just, you know, just kind of utilize the methodology that I just did right there, but you'll have to kind of switch it up as far as strategy for how you do it. Okay. So let's undo the strap here, so I can safely get it off. Come on. It's kind of, there it goes. The strap is underneath the chain, so I gotta pull it through. Okay, let me put this on the bench real quick. Kind of makes it seem like I know what I'm doing, you know? Sometimes. Sometimes. So I just want to wrap this up real quick. If I don't do it now, I won't do it, you know? It's like, same idea as like you try to put your tools away as you use them. That's why I have them there on the table, so I know that's right there, ready to go. Back in the toolbox. I was planning on using the cart, but with the transmission removal and all that stuff, it would just probably end up getting in the way. So this is fine for now. All right, let's get the subframe off of the transmission jack. Adjust my camera so you guys might get a better view. And I just now realized I forgot to drain the differential, but it's fine. I'll just keep it on the ground flat like this, and then when I unbolt it from the subframe, I'll drain it accordingly. It's not a big deal. Would have been easier to do it when it was in the air, but whatever. So, got the subframe. bit of wire was getting caught. Yeah, so it's pretty much where I want to put it for the night. It's just right here. That way I can lower the car down. Okay, so we'll just leave it like that. This is fine. Okay. So with that said, this is kind of at a stopping point for the day. I haven't had dinner yet, so I'm kind of getting hungry. And yeah, I think I made some decent progress today. So next, I think tomorrow what I'll do is go ahead and prep the subframe. I'm gonna do the subframe installation first before I put the trim mic in there, because I need to get the trim mic in there after. So I need to have the subframe swap done so I can then install the transmission so that I can get the differential or the measurement for the drive shaft, right? So it's rear seals or center face of flange. So I gotta have both of them up. And so I'm gonna do a reverse order here. So I'll get the subframe in next and go from there. So tomorrow I'll be burning bushings and getting that prepped, and then I'll be documenting through this video of how to do a subframe, S13 subframe swap, how I do it anyways. There's a couple ways to do it. I think the way I do it is the easiest way, but it's just, you know, I've done it, I don't know, 4 or 5 times now, and the alignment comes out perfect. The tires are centered, and the centering of the subframe is directly in the middle of the car, so it's not one tire out more than the other. So kind of, I guess, know what I'm doing. But yeah, we made some decent progress, only a couple of gotchas. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some tools away and otherwise call it a night. I think I did good progress. So, all right guys, this will be it for today's video. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. There's definitely a couple of things I made some errors on, like forgetting the shifter before I put the car up in the air. I should have done that first while I was on the ground. Did you see anything that was weird about this car being an 83? You know, was that weird, some of it? I think so. But yeah, I mean, everything's looking pretty good. All right, guys, I'll let you get back to your evening, day, whatever time it is you're watching this. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share to your friends. And let's keep this channel growing with new content. All right, guys, talk to you later.